Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Yannis Pappas Hour. Coming to you right now, not live, but pre-recorded from my modern-day studio on the modern medium called podcasting. What's going on? First, I want to tell you, get your tickets right now, November 12th. That's next week, Brooklyn, New York, Crown Hill Theater for the History Hyenas live show. November 12th, Brooklyn, Crown Hill Theater. Get in there. We're trying to get as much money as we can before it gets taxed. Then I'll be in Bozeman, Montana to see me do stand-up. Bozeman, Montana. I'm excited to go there. November 22nd. Do-do-do, do-do-do, do-do-do-do. That is from Yellowstone, the show. November 22nd at the Emerson Theater, Bozeman, Montana. Get your tickets at yannispappascomedy.com. Stanford, Connecticut, December 5th and 6th. Austin, Texas, December 11th and 13th. West Nyack, New York, December 19th through the 21st. Then San Francisco, January 2nd through the 3rd. Then Calgary and whatever. Go to my website, yannispappascomedy.com, to support this show in particular. Patreon.com/yannispappas-hour. Now the show begins. And my name is Sean Terry. I'm a candidate for assemblyman. And man, I mean he, him. You know what I'm talking about, okay? And I am coming out of Ozone Park, Brooklyn, New York. I'm representing that district, and I want all my firefighters. I want all my native New Yorkers to know that I got your back. We're going to make sure your AI, the Chinese fucking people, don't take your jobs. Plus the bio-robots and the non-bio-robots. We're talking to you. Plus these immigrants, okay? What's going on here? We want jobs for native New Yorkers. I'm pushing back against Mom Yanni. I'm pushing back against AOC. I am your populist nemesis, and I'm coming at you from here on in. It's a fight between normal talking guys. All right? I'm a working class guy, and I'm going up against a regular old liberal arts educated intelligentsia. But we're populists. We got direct access on the internet. There's no gatekeepers I gotta win over. I don't gotta go to fucking Barbara Walters. I don't gotta fucking go to the Jew with the suspenders. I don't remember his name. I don't gotta go to CNN to talk about the fudge pack. The fudge pack was from the Rockefellers. I don't gotta talk to any of these guys. I don't gotta talk to Judge Judy, Judge Ichiro Suzuki. I don't gotta talk to none of these guys. Chet Lemon, Jack Lemon, Don Lemon, whichever one of those fucking pole smokers is presently taking interviews. I come straight to you from my YouTube channel. We're building this grassroots movement, baby, and it's about unions. It's about culture. And more importantly, it's about the Catholic faith and how there will be no more Catholic phobia going around in these neighborhoods talking about fathers doing this, that, touching kids. No, we're touching Jesus Christ's spirit. And that's my movement. And I challenge you to a debate on Israel-Palestine. My position on Israel-Palestine is shut the whole thing down. Future politics, baby. We're here. Populist movements. No more fancy talk. There'll be no more fancy talk. I want to hear cursing. You know what I'm saying? I want to hear cursing. I want to hear anger. I want to hear slogans. I want to get riled up. I want that cult feeling vibe, you know, where we're going to take over institutions. First, we're going to get into here. Then we're going to get guys in here. It's all cult leading populism. This will be looked back by historians as the populist era, where the Schumers are done, the Bushes are done, the neoconservatives are done, the Clinton dynasty's done, the Obama disciples are done, the Democratic Party is done, the Republican Party is done. We got MAGA, and we got progressive socialist Democrats, baby. Socialism versus MAGA. What's MAGA? I'm not sure. Seems to be, I don't know, a personality-driven thing. Republican. It's definitely anti-open borders, mostly capitalist, but we're seeing a lot of the, Same stuff as far as benefits to farmers. It's not, I wouldn't call it libertarian. I wouldn't call it America First either. I think a little guy named Nick Fuentes is starting to win that with his Robin, Tucker Carlson, because make no mistake, he's the Batman. He's a captivating mother. He's got the riz. Or should I say, he's got some fizz. He's got some fizz. He doesn't have the riz. How do you say it with a German accent? He's got the frizz. His name is Nick Fuentes, and he has the Heidelberg fizz. And his Robin is definitely Tucker Carlson Tucker Carlson has no jawline. Have you noticed that? I've noticed that. He's got no jawline. I don't know. But also Nick Fuentes has that populist hair, that sort of messy hair. Like we're not gelling, we're not combing it. You remember? Like Boris Johnson and like Donald Trump. That's your signal we got a populist on our hands. He'll comb his hair. You know? That was before. Nah, there he is. No gel, hair's flopping in the wind, whatever. So if he's getting chased by pro-Palestine, well, actually, he is pro-Palestine. I'm sorry. If he's getting chased by Zionists, his hair would flop around in the wind, especially if he's in his hometown of Chicago. A lot of wind. Here's another one with the new hair. Javier Milei. I don't even know how to pronounce his name. But they all got the hair. Have you noticed that pattern? It's the populist hair. Whether it's libertarian, you know, you don't even call these guys libertarian anymore because right now he's accepting a bailout from the United States or wants one, right? That's not very libertarian. So these guys say one thing to get elected. You're not going to get a free bus and you're not going to get free groceries. And I think Mom Yanni knows that, right? I think Mom Yanni knows that. But it's campaign. It's populist campaign slogans. Right? Trump, the same thing. I'm going to release the Epstein files. And then as soon as he gets in office, he's going, there is no Epstein files. So it's populist slogans that are getting people to office. And yes, they run under a party set of policies they hope to enact. But, you know, I'm not sure that the governing is going to be like the campaign, much like populist Trump. Right? He's a populist too. The point is, from now, here on in, you see all the players who are appealing to the public via the internet. That's where everyone's consuming their media. I mean, TV shows, it could be, I mean, it's like, they could not mean less. Who's this? Let's see. Hold on one sec. But they all do have the hair. They all do have the hair. Sorry, we got interrupted a little bit. We had to cut all that out. So we're right back where we were, talking about populists and how they've taken over the country and the world in a lot of ways, right? It's personalities. I don't think there's a Republican Party anymore. Like I said, I don't think there's a Democratic Party anymore. I think the only thing that's left is captivating or boring. I think that's what it is. Captivating or boring. Is Mamdani a Democrat? I mean, if you go back through his Twitter account, I mean, we do know he's as close to a college graduate as you can be, maybe 9 years away. We do know his only job was assemblyman, not for long. So what is he, right? No business interest, nothing. I'd say he's a populist and a very good speaker with the riz, with no German accent, more of a Indian or Arabic accent, perhaps, maybe. But it depends because he changes his accent all the time. So he definitely has like a sociopathic vibe and smile and charisma. He definitely got the younger vote, right? The Gen Z vote, mostly. 77% of his votes were from 18 to 24. And 74% were 25 to 29. Some numbers were like that. Now here's also the situation. High amongst men, right? Or young men, or nowadays I would call teenagers, because we grow up later, but mostly women, like 80-something% of women in that age bracket, right? Now here's what we're seeing. The men of that age group are Trump. They're more right-wing, and the girls, the women, are more left-wing populists. So you got the right-wing populists, the left-wing populists, and it's split right down the aisle like a mosque. It's almost like seating at a mosque. They're really separated down the aisle, right? But he's in there and he's captivating, right? Because his positions they're not traditionally Democrat. I mean, his main opponent was a Democrat. And of course, we know he won. But I think even when you look at Trump and you look at Milei, is that how do you pronounce it? Milei? Milei in Argentina. It's more about them being captivating than anything. He's not going to win, Bernie can't win anywhere besides Vermont, right? Which is, by the way, the only place socialism has kind of worked, though, I guess. Socialist mayors, socialist representation kind of gets reelected over and over and over again. It's kind of worked there, but Vermont is a kind of a ironically homogeneous white place. A lot of people like Bernie there. Boomer socialists from that era. It's not a culturally diverse place. Is culture destiny? But of course, it's market based. It's American. It's Vermont, but very progressive place. Very progressive. The most progressive, maybe, right? One of them, definitely socially, one of the most progressive places. And I know I say a lot, but that's because I'm going off the top of the head. This isn't written in a teleprompter by 5 people. Unless you consider the personalities of my characters in my brain to be people, then it's 3 people or 4, depending. So, this is the era that we're in right now. It's definitely not about your party anymore, which is interesting. There seems to be a lot less party cohesiveness and loyalty, and it's more about, I mean, what I was saying, he ran against a Democrat, essentially, where they were like attacking each other like crazy. And just Vermont is considered the second most progressive place behind California, no time to party, and then Massachusetts and Oregon. But populism, the thing about populism is it's emotional. It's emotional. It appeals to emotional. It appeals to your amygdala. It's emotional. The slogans are angry. People are fed up. Populists usually rise during times like this where, there's 2 tracks to the economy, right? Stock market's doing great. Rich people are doing great. The economy's expanding for all intents and purposes, but people are not keeping up, So this is when populism rises. Andrew Jackson, considered the first real populist in America, right? And he was a populist. He's the one that expanded voting rights to white men who weren't property owners. And at that time, property also didn't include, the definition was a little wider. It's a little wider back then, right? You may not have a house or an address, but you might have a companion who you fed and didn't get monetary compensation. So, of course, he was a populist, but he was a populist for white settlers, white men. And look, well, at the time, expansion, right? The United States was expanding, so he became the candidate there, and he was he was just a regular talker. He wasn't one of these Yale guys. He was this of the day. He was that of the day. And he was opposed to the second bank of the U.S. He was against rich people. He was against institutions. And he was for the white man, whether you got slaves or not, whether you got an address or not, whether you're going west to get it, and whether we got to clean out some Indian territories to get you an address or not. And he rode that in. Now, these populists, their personalities are always very narcissistic, That's where all the charisma comes from. It's a very big need to be liked. That's a type of personality that gets into that line of work. being a cult leader is it takes a certain set of skills that comedians, people who want to be rappers, performers. He's definitely performative, Mom Yanni. He's performative. I like calling him Mom Yanni. But they come with these simplified solutions always. That's what they do, right? So populists come and they go, we're going to fix it this way and that way. And why socialism has often been a tool of populists, right? Mao, the list goes on, Che, what was the sugar plantation rich kid? Castro, all of them. Why it appeals to young people and why so often socialism rides in on the back of a populist is because of a meta insight I've had, Jesse. And I remember when I was young and younger. And when you're younger, you don't have the experience base yet to know that problems always change and that they're just an ever-present part of the imperfect, mortal world that we live in. Self-interest, altruism, it's all messy. Nobody's one or the other at all times, Nobody's Ayn Rand's hero, and nobody's a selfless, empathetic communist all the time. We're all a mixed bag, and it's constantly changing, and some of us are all those things together, some of us more. It's all a scale. But the main point to my meta revelation is this. Young people believe that there's a solution, and that solution will be final. I'm good I put it that way. But essentially, that's what they do. We're going to fix this, and it's going to be over. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to say. Here's the solution, and when we do fix it, it'll be over. And young people believe that, whereas older people go, oh, that just brings a whole nother bag of problems, right? That's just life. The problems are ever present. They never go away. They constantly change. Oh, my back hurts. Fix my back. Now my ball hurts. Now I fixed that. Now my cheek hurts. Now I fixed that. I like this about my friend, but I really don't like this about him. I prefer this, don't like that. It's a mix. You know that from experience. But when you're young, you believe in categorical evil, bad, solution, problem. You see the world like that. It's very binary, right? Well, we just fix this. If we just do this, then it's over, right? Everyone now, like Mom Dami's in, it's over. Woke is back. We're going to win. There's no more problems. That's what it is. And then the right wing, Trump is in. We're good. There's no more problems. Not much has changed. I mean, gas, I think, is... you can't even really blame biting on gas because of COVID and all that stuff. A little bit, I guess. I don't know. But gas prices are not really based on who's president exclusively. Not even close. Gas is pretty decent, but the price of things aren't going down. Inflation's still kicking. The debt is still kicking. Money's still going out. There ain't no America First going on. There ain't no America First going on right now, I'll tell you that. Wars are still going on. We got an aircraft carrier in Venezuela. We're opening up fronts. So a lot of things that he said don't match up because governing is always different than campaigning. Previous to this era, it was a lot more policy talk, right? We're going to do this, this, this. And then people's feet were held to the fire because they were more boring people. Mitt Romney's not going to be able to win you over with his fat tits. His fat tits of a personality. Because that's what someone with a good smile and personality is they're basically a guy with fat tits. And Mitt Romney was a boring guy, right? Even Obama was a pretty boring guy. He was only kind of inspiring when he spoke, but, when he was in a conversation, it was like kind of a snooze fest. Especially in this era. He's a fucking snooze fest. The most exciting thing about him is, did he kill his chef because... his chef walked in on Michelle changing and saw her cock. Is his wife a man? That's where we're at now. Is the president of French's wife also a man? Did Egypt or Israel kill Charlie Kirk? That's where we're at. It is Tom Clancy novel at all times. There's one thing Americans hate worse than evil, and you know what that is? Boring. You could be as evil as you want if you're not boring. If you're boring, then that's worse than evil. That's the only way we don't like people, is if they're boring. If you're boring, you get no documentary made about you, no 6 parts on Netflix, no fictionalized version by the guy who brought you Ed Gein story. If you're not boring, you're going to get a biopic. Fiction, nonfiction, books, we love you. Americans, that's why World War II is so popular in America as a topic, because it wasn't boring. It wasn't boring. The kid had some riz, or much like Nick Fuentes, he had to fizz. How do Germans say riz? Fizz?
Riz?
Riz? He had to riz.
Oh,
riz.
that's a lot of riz.
That's a lot of riz. So, and it's very cult-like, right? It's like, this is what I want you to do. I want you to pretend that you're not part of this movement. We have to all play a little tequila, right? It's not just Muslims tequila. Everyone's playing tequila, right? I'm pretty sure the Social Democrats, like, just get into power, play the game, shake hands, keep it silent, just wink at each other. We're part of a movement. And then I bet you Nick Fuentes is following is going to be doing the same thing. Now it's time to get into power, wink, get into positions, join your college, whatever, USTEP, or I didn't even know these things. What is it? USAID, whatever it's called. To UTOP. What is it? What was Charlie Kirk's fraternity called?
UTOP?
Top USA.
You top me, I top you?
Yeah, I top you, you top me. Top Aid, US Top. What was it called? USA Taid? USA Lemonade? Turning Points. Turning Points USA. Turning Points. Get in there. Get into run for student body president. Go to Ivy Leagues. Get into the universities. Go work for a congressman. There are all these cults trying to infiltrate to get their solutions, right? It's a solution thing. It's simple solution, right? The Nazis felt too. They even had what they called it that. And they're like, this will fix it. Would it have? Who's going to complain and tell you what a good restaurant is? It's right now, everyone's just this is the era of like grievance, baby. Pointing, it's pointing out. We've talked about it. Nobody wants to take a look in the mirror and go, maybe I should do 10 more push-ups. Nobody wants to do that right now. And that's the thing, right? That's the thing about America specifically is we are free because we can complain. And that's sort of the marker, the benchmark for freedom, right? Is can you complain? Can you complain about the people in power? You certainly can. But the irony is the paradox of tolerance, right? You complain about the place that allows you to complain to the point where people get so mad at that place, they overthrow it. You go, wait a second. I was the guy that was allowing you. It couldn't have been that bad. And they're like, no, you don't understand because of Amazon. You don't understand because of Bill Ackman. I didn't have, things weren't good. You don't understand. I was oppressed because of Elon Musk's Twitter was triggering me. You know the deal. When you get comfortable, comfort corrupts. It's how it goes. It's how it is. It's how it will always be. And this keeps repeating. This is not the first time we've had a populist on any aisle of the political spectrum, and not the first time we've had a socialist populist. And it won't be the last populist. And it won't be the last. But now, because of the internet, it's fast moving. I think it's really fast moving. I mean, Nick Fuentes is like 27 years old, and he already got the attention of Tucker Carlson and Ben Shapiro, and he's taken over. He's beginning to take over the right wing. He's taking over MAGA. Everyone thinks it's going to be boring Vance or no. I mean, this kid has charisma. People love that. You can lie when you have charisma. You can say one thing one day and change it. People don't care because they like you. They like the product, which is you. But that's the thing about populism. It offers belonging and it offers moral clarity, right? They're wrong. We're right. This is the problem. It's neat and tidy. Nick Fuentes goes, we get the Jews out of power and we dump Israel and it's all fine. The socialists go, we get the Jews and we dump Israel and it's all fine. And then the other party goes, we get the Jews. No, they go, we redistribute the wealth and tax the 1%, and it's all fine. It'll all be fixed. So that's how populists always rise, on the back of some individual with charisma. It's the same format every time, same anatomy every time. And right now, with the economic climate being what it is, uncertainty, AI, people knowing that their jobs are going to be dispensable, knowing that inflation keeps and demand keeps squeezing their cost of living. This was a ripe time for a populist on both sides to take over. When you marry that, the economic climate with the internet, there is no more gatekeeper to slow the process down. Oh, we're not paying attention to this guy yet. We're not paying attention to this guy yet. And then finally, what does he have to do? He's got to like burn a cross on a lawn to get on the Jerry Springer show. Otherwise, nobody was opening the door for him, right? So the word wasn't getting out and these people weren't finding each other. Now it happens at hypersonic speed where these movements form in telegraph groups and discords, YouTube channels, on X. You know, it's just straight to the people, which is populist. So you know that this was inevitable. Plain people, or people appearing to be plain, talking plainly. You ever watch a Hasan Piker talk? You know, much like most of the socialists, he had a pretty privileged life going up. We've gone over that. Marx, Engels, Nelson Mandela, Allende, Castro, Che Guevara, Mao. They were all rich kids, right? Hasan Piker, you know, at some point I think his dad lost his business, according to him, but the kid was on a horse when he was a child. If there's a picture of you on a horse when you were a child wearing a helmet, like wearing one of those black things, that's actually the mark. If you want to know the mark, there's a difference between rich and wealth, right? Rich is like Tim Dillon, right? I got like lights in my ceiling and I'm yelling at Airbnb because I can say fuck you. Rich is like, I don't know, Lil Nas X, right? But once you put your butt on a horse saddle, once you're around the horse, that's wealth. That is family wealth. That is, you know, billionaire kids, multimillionaire kids. Horses are expensive. I didn't know, but yeah, his father was a political scientist who held an executive role at some major company, a major Turkish conglomerate. And his mother was an art and architecture historian. So he comes from that liberal arts, masturbatory, I don't know math, I can't code. I also can't build anything or fix your toilet, much like me. Much like me. And he probably has a sense of humor about it. The kid's a socialist. Okay? A lot of good ideas in socialism, especially when it's parasitic on capitalism. But, you know, we talked about that in the last episode, so we're not going to repeat. But sometimes I have to reference just to keep the train of thought going. Mamdami's kids, we didn't cover this, though. Mamdami's parents, she's an Oscar-nominated filmmaker. And the father is a prominent Uganda-born academic and professor of government and anthropology at Columbia. They pay pretty well at Columbia. Known for his work on colonialism and African history. He went to I think I read he went to a very elite private school in Maine for college. Anyway, that's a side point. Guys, we're brought to you by Cornbread Hemp. If you're feeling stuck in your daily wellness routine, you're not alone. Our friends at Cornbread Hemp, they got you back. Their organic CBD gummies are made to help you feel better. They always make you feel better. whether it's a stress, poor sleep, or just needing a moment to unwind, right? CBD might just be for you, okay? Cornbread hemp uses only the best part of the hemp. I really like them. The best part of the hemp plant, the flower, for the purest and most potent CBD. No fillers, no junk, just full spectrum goodness. So right now, they're offering 30% off your first order. Very nice. Go to cornbreadhemp.com/Yannis, Yannis, and use the code Yannis at checkout. That's cornbreadhemp.com/Yannis with the code Yannis to get 30% off your first order. The internet is tailor-made for populism. It's made it move very quick, you know? And so messages spread fast, right? It seems to be Israel has become a populist cause because it's united the cult of MAGA, a portion of MAGA, probably 30, 40% at this point. I mean, and it keeps growing. And it's eating away at the Democratic Party big. You can't, young people just are done with funding Israel. They're done. Israel's leadership, has in the past acted a little, you could interpret it as they've acted a little ungrateful because they've been manipulative, reckless, and corrupt at times. They've lied to us at times. They've used us at times. They've spied on us at times. And it just, the chicken has come home to roost, and Netanyahu has just kind of ruined the image. They went too hard over there, and that's just the public perception. And that cat is out the bag and can't be changed. So their brutality, or the perceived brutality, but it seems like brutality, is what has reignited the old scapegoat of anti-Semitism. And that's scary, dangerous, and not going away, unfortunately. But this is all populism. This happens a lot. When the elites start failing, you start hearing about the Jews a lot. I mean, that's always, that's just where it's at. All the revolutions, you just start hearing about them. If there's 6 or 8 in an organization, it just becomes a Jewish organization. They just look, if the guy's Jewish, if they find one guy's Jewish, they go boom. They're all in cahoots. They're all meeting at a deli, eating Reuben sandwiches and talking about open borders. That's just how it goes. They're in high positions. They're highly educated, high achievers. They do help each other out like every ethnic group. But other ethnic groups are spared of that. The Chinese are definitely spared. There's no conspiracies about the Chinese, who are constantly soft attacking us, constantly competing with us, constantly a threat, doing things. But nobody's screaming about the Chinese, an actual global power. Israel's powerful, but they're a regional power, right? They're powerful compared to fucking Sudan and Iran. They're not powerful compared to the Soviet Union or China or, even India. And without us, it's like, whoa. So, and never in history have they been a global power, I tweeted that and people I just tweeted a fact and people went, I didn't read any of it, I don't, because it's great. That's the way you got to be with the internet. And, that's what all social media companies should have, but they won't. But it's just like, you don't even see it. Like, there should be an option where you just go like, let them have at it down there. I'm up here. Let them be down there. I'm up here. Not meaning I'm above them. Just my section's here. Their section, go have it. Bots and angry people and emotionally unstable people and people who just let them have at it. And then I posted this joke also on my Instagram about voting for Mandami because he's the best candidate to make New York a less desirable place to live. And like half the people did not understand the joke. Some people thought I meant I was really voting for Mandami. Some people thought, half the people didn't even get the joke. I was getting messages, DMs, people going like, people are so stupid. I was going, yeah. I know, dude. That's why a lot of content creators double down. Because if you're doing what I do, you're going to get yelled at by idiots on all sides. But if you double down on one, then those idiots on that side become your base, and then you only get yelled at by idiots on one side. So if you want to cut down on the idiots, you double down on the side and lean in. You campaign for Mamdani, or you campaign for Trump. You lean the fuck in and tie your reputation to what a politician is going to do. Are you fucking crazy? When did this championing of fucking politicians like they were saviors start? From comedians? I don't know. I don't know. But it is making me very fucking uncomfortable. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the fucking actors. The actors used to do it. Let's make a video. It's my guy Mondami. This is my guy, this is my guy Hillary. You remember all the Hillary just fucking sucking on her clit? Just fucking... George Clooney just fucking sucking, and all of them making black and white videos. Putin, stop. Putin, stop. Darfur, stop it. And now the actors have realized, oh, look, man, we're looking for work now. And that didn't go so good. And we're not people who say our opinion. That's comedians, that's commentators, that's pundits. Why are we doing this? I play a role on a fucking Cinemax show. Why am I doing this? I'm on HBO Max. I'm known for reading lines that other people write. Why am I doing this? And now you're starting to see actresses say, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not telling people how to vote, blah, 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 blah. So, that, and people have been saying that for a long time, but then finally it took a crash in Hollywood for them to be like, maybe we should shut the fuck up. I mean, Jimmy Fallon is taking shit for calling Hunter Schafer Bud. So now people are going like, what's that's transphobic? I mean, good luck with that. Good luck with that fucking thought and word policing. It's like, dude, never happy. He's in trouble for calling her Bud. In a very fun way. He's like, you're doing great, Bud. And they're like, wait a second. Did you just mention to her what her fucking... Hunter Schafer's a hot trans. So they stopped, and then it's guess who picked up the baton? Comedians picked up the baton, and it hasn't really, because remember at first people used to cheer on the celebrities, like, yeah, fucking, you have to stand up and say something, until people were like, shut the fuck up. You're a multi-millionaire sitting in a room with a tuxedo who gets paid to read lines. What the fuck do you know about my job in fucking Skokie, Illinois, or wherever? And now comedians are at that point where they're getting a lot from it. People are cheering them on. Yeah, finally speaking up. Champion of the person. We're supposed to be lampooning, right? It's champion, yeah, finally a real man who's not scared to say women are people. Or yeah, tell it like it is. Finally, no more political correctness. We're going fucking Trump is the way. He don't give a fuck, dude. He's got so much energy. How does he even do it? Am I wrong? I'm with her, Hillary. Hi, say, welcome to my podcast, Kamalo. But it's that stage, it's the early stage, right? It's nascent, it's just beginning. So they're getting their flowers. You're finally standing up, you're finally saying something. Finally, you've come to your senses and you become mega. Finally, you've come to your senses and you see that Mamdami's gonna fix everything. You're gonna get the cock of the ruling class out of your mouth. Finally, you. So, but eventually people are gonna be like, why don't you all shut the fuck up? And then you're gonna see videos like, yeah, man, you're gonna see a lot of videos going like, I'm just yeah, man, like, I'm done doing that. Like, I just want to focus on, just want to focus on like silly again. Just want to be silly again. I want to be silly. People don't even know why people are upset with her. People think, and unfortunately I think I've seen there's a little lack of awareness in the first person there. It's not that he went to Saudi Arabia. There's a reason why people are upset with him and not with Fluffy, right? It's not about the money that he got in going to Saudi Arabia. It's about the stance, the earnestness in the stance, right? Put all the rich billionaires down, you know, just the how earnest it got. Free Luigi, no details. Like, okay, so murder is cool? I was on a podcast once with one guy, and he was like fucking laughing about it. I'm going like, whoa, we're losing our humanity, bro. That guy was murdered. I don't care. It's like, think about how many people he killed. No, he didn't kill anyone. He's part of a system that's fucked up that does kill people, but it's more complicated than that. He individually didn't pull the plug on it. You know, yeah, he's a greedy pig and the healthcare system's all fucked up, but he didn't make the healthcare system. He's got a wife and kids. And Charlie Kirk, they're like, I got shot in the neck. Why? Because he said shit? Just ran his mouth. I mean, you're starting to see that loss of humanity now, that bloodthirst starting to bubble through. Because people are emotionally unstable right now. You're emotionally unstable. If you're getting riled up to the level where you would have hurt someone over them running their mouth, you're unstable. You're not stable. But, you know, we all got our chance now to be populists. But we are comfortable as a society, you know, and comfort breeds apathy deep down. And then you feel hollow about your apathy. You feel purposeless about your apathy. And then apathy breeds a bit of restlessness. Like, what do I got to do to feel better? And then restlessness becomes disguised in complaints. And then you start realizing, hey, now I feel like I have a purpose. Now I'm starting to get some attention. And then your complaints become a substitute for meaning. And that's just what happens when life gets too comfortable. Complaining feels like purpose. The only way. And like work. Feel like you're busy, which also helps with your restlessness from apathy. Absolute. And that's kind of where we are. And nobody talks the details out. It's just slogans and emotion, right? You want to go, hey, are you really a communist? Like a lot of the supporters, you have communist supporters. What does that mean, right? Like, what do they like about you? You know, what kind of coded language? I love the young people. They know they love that language, coded. And because I said young people, somebody's going to call me a boomer and the thing. Isn't it watching Yanni? Blah, blah. It's really. But like, hey, didn't communism never really gets rid of billionaires, does it? Communism never really gets rid of them. It just transforms them into a single trillionaire, the state leader. Am I wrong? Or is that not data? Does data not matter? If it gets in the way of your emotion, your joy about the revolution? I don't know. We've gotten there. And now we're at this point where we're beyond what it used to be. Not saying that was all roses when the establishment, Democrats and Republicans were in, but at least back then, and I'm not saying it's good or bad. I mean, you could read into at least, and I guess I am. I'll just admit it. Maybe there's some value in people who are right-wing but can handle the merit of left-wing ideas, and people who are left-wing and can handle the merit of right-wing ideas, you know? And if you can't, maybe, just maybe, you're weak, naive, inexperienced, emotionally unstable, and inexperienced. Just maybe. And if you're a candidate who can't handle the gray zone of ideas, maybe, just maybe, you're going to be a tyrant and or a failure. Can we look at the data? Why do extremists don't consider data? You ever notice that? Because it's all emotion-based. They don't like data, right? They either hate or like the person. They either hate or love the person. They can't deal with the data. So It's interesting. It's interesting that we're in this position where I don't think anything really matters as far as what's real and not real. I think confrontational personalities have found their conduit to be heard without gatekeepers, without vetting, and they can find other confrontational personalities and form a group. Confrontational personalities to me are just, often people who weren't treated well by their parents for whatever reason, and confrontation then thus feels like attention. So it's the only love they've known, right? Much like a person who's been like abused by their father or whatever, then they date a husband who's been abused. The brain prefers the known to the unknown. They go, at least I know this. That's just what happens. It's a maladaptive thing that happens. People prefer the thing that they know. Your brain will always prefer the safety of what it knows, even if it's horrible, to the unknown for whatever reason. We're more scared of the unknown. I guess our pathway gets formed to going like, I know how to survive this. And that's more comfortable to me than what I don't know. And this is just human psychology. And so now confrontational personalities, car crashes, are very entertaining. And they like it. That's the thing. And those are the ones who rise to the top. They love it. They love the fight. They love the confrontation because to them, it's love. That's the love their parents showed them. Anger, dissatisfaction with them. So it feels like love because it's the only love they've known. So they mistake power struggles, for presence. And all they're doing is just reenacting old childhood wounds in public. And most people aren't emotionally involved to recognize it. And the people who love it are probably themselves. They found themselves a leader, something in common because they're the same way. Because people aren't healed. We need yoga. We need mindfulness. That's what we need. But populism on the right and left is no longer on the right and left. It's just personalities, authoritative personalities with charisma who are just going to do what they want. Trump goes by what Trump wants. Much like Andrew Jackson, he's fired all the people he doesn't like and hires loyalists. Same thing Andrew Jackson did. Are you with me? I just want yes, man. I don't want anybody telling me. I don't need a brain trust. I don't need Kennedy's brain trust here. I don't need people who are going to, challenge my ideas. I'm go, 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 baby. And I'm sure Mondami will be the same. He is beholden. A lot of people don't know. There's a lot of Muslim money that got him elected from CAIR, C-A-I-R, which is a Qatar-based group that funds. They have been investigated for terrorism ties, but CAR has spoken up and called it a historic moment, and a lot of the funding has come from there. I think George Soros has given some money. But Linda Sarsour, because she loves the limelight, she's not letting him. You could see the infighting already start. You saw it with Trump too, right? Like former loyalists become adversaries. She likes the limelight. She's a tough chick who likes she's angry. And she doesn't, she's like, you better believe I saw it. You see the interview of her? She's like, you better believe he's going to do what we want. Because make no mistake, her hubris spilled the beans. It was her ego that spilled the beans. It would be better if people weren't paying attention to that for his PR. But she couldn't help it because of all the attention he's got and because he did something she didn't like, which was keep that chick police chief on. She said, let me just say something right now. I didn't like that he kept that police chief on, but, we're going to get rid of that chick. And if he doesn't get rid of that fucking NYPD group, what is it? They're getting, whatever, they're aggressive. And if you don't get rid of them, whatever it is, that program, we going to be heard. We're going to be heard. Because he didn't just pop at it. You saw how she was trying to get her props? She was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Don't forget about me. Because Mamdani, now that he's right in there, he's going, yo, get away. It's the same thing Nick Fuentes is doing with the Nazis, right? So Nick Fuentes is going like, no more of that shit. No more saying the N-word. Put your tie on. Go to Harvard. No more. We're just going to throw around the N-word. We're not going to, we're not going to say Hitler's cool anymore, even though we've said it a million times. So Mamdani's going to try to go like, yo, stop. But she's going like, nah, bro, we got you elected, bruh. And we have some wants and needs, bruh. So I know you're saying you're going to be a mayor for all people and all that, and you're going to protect against anti-Semitism, but don't forget, Semitism is the thing we don't like. And also don't forget, when you say all people, you mean us first, right? She said, I want to make the point. She talks like that. I want to make the point that the Unity and Justice Fund PAC, which is the car super PAC, was the largest institutional donor to the pro-Zohran PAC in New York. And he's going, shut the fuck up. Basically, you're saying like I'm fucking beholden to that, just like the candidates are beholden to AIPAC. We don't want that out in the forefront. She goes, the PACs that have supported Zohran, or a particular PAC that has supported Zohran, is probably over 80% of Muslim American donors in this country. High net donors, grassroots donors. And we got ideas. It's like when you pitch a show and the network goes, we got ideas. So everyone thinks he's just this independent, like, oh, he's not tied to any money. He's not tied to any money. He's not beholden to any interests. Welcome to reality, child. And I know you're sitting there going, well, AIPAC does the same thing. Yeah, that's what I'm fucking saying. You got the wrong podcast if you think I'm not saying that. I'm saying that's a problem. I'm saying that's being beholden to foreign interests. She's angry. But I love that because it was very transparent. It was very like, put the camera on me. Like, now I can come out. He's won. So now we can come out and say what this really is. What this is really about. Don't forget about the Muslim. I hear you talking about protecting the Jewish synagogues. I hear you talking about Trump and all that shit. But yo. A lot of money. I was the liaison. I was the, what do you call that? I'm the usury. The irony of this is incredible. I'm your usury. We lent you this money. Now you have to pay up. Sort of the way the world works, huh? So why is your finger always going that way? You don't see? You don't see the hypocrisy? You don't see? You don't see all the big money needed? Oh, I thought you're a socialist, but big money. Yeah, that's just the way the system is. Is it though? Does it have to be? How much money did Trump get in compared to the Democratic Party? Not a lot. Grassroots. That's grassroots. Hey, if you want to talk honestly, remember when he did that like online campaign, people were donating? I mean, compared to Kamala, he did not have as much money. Anyway, you can say whatever you want. You can rationalize. You can make up whatever excuse, which is what everyone does. Nobody wants to be wrong. Nobody's got the humility to say, hey, let's talk this out and find the right thing on principle. Nobody's in it for the principle. Shut the fuck up. You're in it for your own fucking interest. You want your rent cheaper. You want a little bit more for the degree that you got and you thought you were going to have more. Shut the fuck up. Stop telling me this moral superiority is really fucking pissing me off. Right? These people are bad. These fucking men are... Shut the fuck up. If you're a multimillionaire and you're campaigning for Mamdani, it's because your fan base loves Mamdani. And you're doing a little thing called having their cock in your mouth. What, just because they're not a billionaire, their cock isn't in your mouth? It's called audience capture. Someone's cock is in your mouth. So shut the fuck up. the hubris of all of us, including me, to think that this rat is so fucking lone wolf and based. Yeah, she had a lot of money. Let's just put it that way. Kamala Harris had a lot of money. $2 billion. Donald Trump, 1.4. And here's the funny thing. She only had like 3 months to raise that. So that's a lot. Imagine she had more time. It would have been a lot more than that, but much more than him. But I don't know. It's all very interesting. It's all very interesting. And in conclusion, you must know that from here on in, it will be populists. That's what it'll be. The traditional left and right are officially over. There's no right or left anymore. No true or false. There's no reason. No moral or immoral. There's no details or historical accuracy. There's only entertainment. You're either captivating or boring, and that's it. As soon as Hollywood crumbled and real life became Hollywood, that's all we care about. Captivating or boring. Those are the only two things that remain. And we don't like boring. And how do you know that? Because when you're sitting on the toilet without your phone, you almost can't do it. Boredom is a human emotion that has been rendered out of existence by technology. Same as two genders. It's a thing of the past. Technology has enabled us to get rid of the emotion of boredom. So if you're boring, you're fucked. Goodbye, Mitt Romney. Goodbye, Chuck Schumer. Goodbye, Nancy Pelosi. The list goes on. Hello, Mom Dami. Hello, Nick Fuentes. Hello. All right, want to give a shout out to forthefree.art, music in Hawaii. Check out their website for bands and shows in Hawaii. You'll learn it's very cool. Also want to give a shout out to Nate Linder. Go check out his podcast, Entrepreneurship Unlocked with Nate Linder. Also, IndigoLabsAgency.com for your marketing needs. And like I said, check out the podcast. Rebels-Raiders.com. They're still raising money to cover the legal costs for Charlotte's Hills Farm Sanctuary in Jersey. The state's trying to force them off their land. The sanctuary is a legit 501c3 nonprofit with over 200 rescued animals, and they need help to fight back. Just go to rebels-raiders.com, click on the charity tab, and it'll take you straight to the GoFundMe. So check them out. Go to the website. Get a goat shirt as well. PCB Tech Art. They got the great wireless chargers for your car. Shop PCBTechArt.com. Find them on Amazon as well. They've helped over 10,000 customers fix their charging issues. Use the code Yannis for 15% off. Very nice. And fix your wireless charging issues today.